Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you. I actually have one I did last night as well. I might do after this one because they both have the King of Cups and the Three of Cups in it. So they definitely parallel each other. It's definitely a shorter one, so if you'd like to stay tuned to the first one from last night, I'll do that actually second, so you can watch that if you'd like to. I'm going to get right into it. Happy Friday the 13th. I always loved Friday the 13th. I never understood why people were afraid of the 13th, since it was always about transformation and endings, which mean new beginnings. So, as I was walking down the hall a little while ago as well, and by the way, thank you everyone, my son is home safely. I was walking down the hall and I have one of those shelf angels that's like half on the shelf and leans off the edge, and I don't usually knock it over, but I did today, and part of the read was the fallen angel, so that was significant. But I just did a slight meditation for you as well, just to get any messages that were coming up for you guys. The first thing I was getting was the lion was very wounded. They were, it was kind of stumbling, and you could see that they had wounds on their face, and their paws were kind of crossing over each other, like he couldn't stand up straight. He was about to fall. So it was about the lion. The beast is about to fall. The very wounded lion is about to fall into a very deep slumber. And then I was getting Let's Make a Deal. And I was literally seeing Monty Hall and Let's Make a Deal, like that salesman energy. But then I was relating it to the Seven of Cups, because I always see that as the synchronicities. And I see the top three options as doors 1, 2, and 3 from Let's Make a Deal. And the middle one is the ghost, which is always what I see as, that's the one that's got the red around it, that pops out for the Divine Masculine as the Divine Feminine, the one that's the unknown. Whereas 1, but 2, then I'm thinking about the numbers, but the 2 is of 2 people, the High Priestess, the feminine, but the 1 is unity consciousness, and also the 1 is the masculine, because it's the mask. The mask, the movie's coming up then too. And then door number 3 at the top of the card is the snake, which is the Kundalini. So it's the masculine with the mask, the feminine, which is the unknown, the wild card, and then the snake or the Kundalini as the third option in the top of the Seven of Cups card. So Let's Make a Deal, doors 1, 2, and 3. Monty Python I'm getting as well. And Monty Python, I don't know what that is, if that means anything to anyone. I think I was just trying to say Python. So Monty Hall and Monty Python was coming up. And then the Nye, or the Show of Power, is coming up as well. So the Show of Power references the ability to make a choice if you're given 3 options. So those were the messages that were coming in, along with the fallen angel, the Leo, or the lion, or the ego that's very deeply wounded, the wounded warrior who falls into a deep slumber or deep sleep. And I was getting that when they would awake, it's like, they awaken like into a whole new life. But they go into this like hypnotic sleep. And then we have Let's Make a Deal that's going on while they're asleep, where there's a choice to make between doors 1, 2, and 3. And remember what I said, because that may have something to do with your choices. So, and remember, the other thing I needed to point out about Monty Hall is remember how he always made everyone feel good, because he always had a smile on his face. He was always in joy. So I'm going to get right into this read. It is Friday the 13th. The 13 is the transformation day, the death, the transition, the transformation, the dark night of Batman, as well as the dark night of the soul, the portal in the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, which is the main deck for this read. It's definitely the portal, the walking through the portal of this 12-month, which is the Hangman, which also represents the Jesus Mary Magdalene template, and the day adds up today to the 37, which is the King of Cups, or unconditional love. So a very important day today, a big, huge transformations, and Friday the 13th. So when I first cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck, which was at 9:29 this morning, which is the Hermit and the Three of Wands being present to the moment, which is the gift, I noticed that the King of Cups and the Three of Cups showed up again. And then when I was at the Higher Self, because that's one of the cards in the read as well, the King of Wands, as I was shuffling my mini deck, flipped upright. So from going reversed, the King of Wands, which comes up in the SIRIAN Starseed deck, which isn't showing, as the Shaman. So the Shaman flipped upright into the Higher Self today. The code line here was about surrender and happy ending, but the H wasn't showing because the card was covering it. So I was getting Appy ending, which has a couple different meanings, right? Can have to do with applications and online ending, like stop using so much computer stuff, as well as Appy being the Garden of Eden and the apple, the Appy ending. It's pretty funny how they bring these things up. But the surrender to this Appy ending or happy ending. The message here and the major arcana here were the Star card, Strength, Higher Self, and Alchemy. Alchemy is like the Temperance card. And then Abundance came up before the read. I do pull a few cards on either end, which I do use in the read, depending on my guidance, how many cards. Then I have 1 sword, 1 wand, 1 cup, 1 pentacle, and 4 cups. So very heavy on the cups today, but everything else was balanced. So it wasn't heavy on swords today, which is different for the masculine. Usually if a lot of cups come up, it comes up with some swords as well, which wasn't the case today. We have 4 cups, very much about heart-based emotions. The only court card that was in the main part of the read was the King of Cups. And then before the read, we have 2 knights, the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. The numbers here around surrender and happy ending were triple threes today. So we have the Trinity here, 333, 369, all of those energies coming up today. The 3 that was missing was the 3 of Pentacles, the co-creation. We also had double 8s. The 2 8s side by side is the masculine and feminine, both balanced and doing the dance between their own masculine and feminine, standing side by side, which then becomes the infinity, sideways 8. Then we have 77 as well came up. 7 and 8 were important today, as well as the 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, the dream family. Let's see, also 37 came up of the King of Cups again, and that's the day's date. It adds up to 37. 78 and 38, so we have the King and Queen of Cups, and then the number 1114, which can reference any combination of those numbers, but the 11 and the 14 is justice, which is truth and balance, and 14, which is the Temperance card or the angels. Patience. In a lesser sense, the numbers 13, 34, 46, and 67 came up, which is death, the 8 of Wands, the 6 of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles, the humble servant. So the message here regarding surrender and happy ending was all about the feminine within the masculine being strong, King of Cups, which references unconditional love. So the feminine within the masculine is what creates that strong bond of the unconditional love. As the divine feminine or an evenness, the balance between the masculine and feminine becomes strong, not just within yourself, but within each other, going back and forth in the dance between you two. As that becomes strong in unconditional love, that is the mastery of emotions. The surrendering to the table, which is the 8, the 4 on top of the 4, the sitting on somebody's lap, or the stacked chairs, coming to the conference table to put all your cards out on the table. The Appy ending, which like I said, references IT as well as the Garden of Eden. Then I was noticing that within the code line, the 7 and the 8 was actually not totally complete. Like the 7, I didn't have the whole end, the last letter showing. And 8 wasn't actually 8, it was the Strength card, which didn't have the G and the TH fully showing. So for some reason, I was guided to write down the 7 and the 8 as they would be incomplete if you didn't have the last letter or the end of it in there. Because the 78 or the 10 of Pentacles was coming up a little bit short, a little bit incomplete. So I drew the 7 partially and then the 8 partially. And if you write it in block letters, it comes out as a line up top and then the number 6 in the block letters or the block numbers, which also would then be like a an apostrophe, but in the other direction, you know, like a C, like on its back though, facing up, with the number 6, which may be a symbol, I don't know it. Or it was coming up as the T, and then the O within the square, the circle within the square. And the T, partially showing, is the key to toggling up. And then we have the human of the circle, which is the human embodiment of source, inside the square, which is the housing, just like a TV would be. So if you draw a square and then a circle inside it, it's literally a TV. The key is the human circle inside the box or the housing. That the key is to have have some clothes on in order to have protection, to just have something around you. It's not like you need a lot, you just need a little something. Like Linus had his security blanket. There's nothing wrong with that. The 78, or the dream family of the King of Cups, the unconditional love of surrender and Appy ending with the H of coming to the table or sitting in someone's lap, with nothing but the clothes on your back to keep it simple. So that didn't come up right away, but it came up from the online stuff that came up, and I'm going to go through that right now real quick. So the first header that came up, most of the stuff was coming up about chalices, and the Knight of Cups, the 7 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups all came up from the code line when I entered it into the system. Also, Titan Blood, 7 chalices, and the Encyclopedia Metallum, which is, heavy metal stuff. It's kind of Satan worshipping too, but 7 strings was also coming up, and then also death metal lesson. So heavy metal music was coming up, number 1, but also a lot about the chalices and the deep of emotions, which a lot of guys who are into heavy metal, or girls, comes from a very deep, dark place, right? So 7 strings came up, which references instruments as well. And then the veil, the chalice, and the dignity of man from Adorimus Bulletin, and the site was Adorimus, Adoremus Bulletin, prompts us, and just a partial quote from that header said, prompts us to approach the altar aware of our unworthiness to enter union with God, which was, was a religious type of site saying that we weren't worthy to be in union with God, which we are undoing all of those old templates, that of course you are worthy to enter the union with God, that you are always in union with God. It's only about you connecting with your higher self. And then Revelation 16 came up, so 16 of the Tower again, which came up yesterday a lot too. The 7 cups with the 7 last troubles. And this was from easyenglish.bible. So V1 was, and I'm just quoting some of the little snapshots from all of the parts. I'm not reading all of them, so they're a little bit pieced together, but they were for a different reason, not to describe to you the Bible verse, but to get you the message that we were meant to get. So V1 was, then I had someone speak to the 7 angels. One was speaking loudly. He was speaking loudly from God's house in heaven. Go and pour out your 7 cups on the earth, he said. And he's saying that the cups were full because God is very angry. So 3 angels pour cups onto the earth, sea, and water in different parts here. The water being rivers, etc. Which all then die or get diseased or turn to blood. So bad things happen to them because the cups, they were saying, were full of evil things. Then V7 says, the head, then they heard someone agree from the special table. So then coming to the table comes up again. That's in front of God. So literally I was saying, come to the table, the 8 of the 2 chairs stacked or sitting on someone's lap, but coming together to put your cards out on the table. So here again, the table comes up. Then heard someone agree from the special table in front of God. They said, yes, Lord, God, you have all authority and you decide what is right and fair. So it's saying to allow, the surrender is about allowing yourself to have what you can't even imagine, to have better than what you can wish for, to go with the flow, to not resist, to allow. So then V15 gets to keeping, like, it wasn't saying a suitcase, but saying, referencing, keep a small suitcase ready. Make sure you have clothes on. Be prepared for when God arrives. So with war, disease, natural disasters had come to those who had sinned or, greed, etc. People of the superficial life, with those things being represented by the 7 cups. And then I was getting, and this was at 1031, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 5 of Wands, the expansion or fighting or competition energy, the quest. I see now islands on Montague's cave. So that was interesting. I had written something down, and that's just the way it looked to me, and I was guided to write it down. Because it was talking about when all this war, disease, and natural disasters had come, it wiped out the islands and it wiped out the mountains. But then I wrote down, the islands were gone, mountains gone, but it looked like I see now islands on Montague's cave. So referencing the Divine Masculine as Romeo in the Montagues and Capulets, which I always reference. And then the 7 cups, the last of troubles, that were worse than the 7 locks or the 7 trumpets. The great storm and ground moves as after, just like after the last lock was opened. So there's these 3 cycles of the trumpets, the locks, and then the cups. So it was referencing the great storm and the ground moves after the last lock was opened. And then the dumping of the 7 cups. And then the 2 of Cups from Biddy Tara came up, and referencing the caduceus of Hermes, and just referencing the different things about the 2 of Cups, the symbolism of commerce, trade, exchange, and also medicine too, and then the lion's head of passion and fiery energy, and possible sexual energy between them was coming up here. So as we get right into the read, we start out with the 3 of Wands, which is the present moment. All right, so we have the 3 of Flames here, which is the same as the 3 of Wands. We also had the Abundance card and the Knight of Wands, the 4 of Swords, and then the Knight of Swords was coming up there underneath. And it was 1033, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Christ vibration. 33 is also the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself without getting triggered or reacting. And then it went right into 1034, which is the 8 of Wands, of that quick energy back and forth, expressing your feelings, energetic exchange, however you see it, having to do with communications and travel as well. All of a sudden at that time, a noisy car went south on my street. And it was very loud. It wasn't fast or slow or anything. It was just very heavy and loud. And I heard it all the way up Hilldale as well, which is another street off of mine. So someone who's very wounded is complaining or needs to be heard. It's like I was just getting all the way to the bank. All right. So someone who might have lost money is very wounded and wants other people to hear about it. So they're very noisy about it. So present to the flame, or the 3rd energy of God, source, love, the Abundance or Empress moves passionately to rest, pray, meditate in 5D with the Knight of Swords reversed, who could be an energy keeping things to themselves, holding their tongue, holding back an announcement, or it could be verbal abuse as well. I'm getting here more about holding their tongue. Twins in a peace offering. The Knight of Cups comes forth to the Devil Capricorn waving, or as the Devil Capricorn waving, saving, grounding, and holding on loosely, but skating on thin ice, offering a big love in return, his gift of the moment, his present. Or the Divine Masculine or older child offers love to feminine chained to their stuff, urging them to love themselves first and to be present in the moment. That she is the gift, not the stuff. Then the Divine Masculine trying to teach their partner what he has learned, but they're not getting it. Or the Divine Masculine gives to the Divine Feminine, who in turn gives the love to a Capricorn or devil energy, which can be a codependency or an addiction or just a Capricorn person, but chained to codependent partner of money and stuff, receiving love in the present moment. Or in other words, the way the Divine Feminine felt years ago about the Divine Masculine giving her energy to the Karmics, now the Divine Masculine is feeling that being upset about the Divine Feminine giving to her Karmics, right, now that she's recovered and able to give back to others now. Or now is the time, the Capricorn time, as we go into Capricorn around the 17th, 18th, I guess. I'm not sure exactly where Capricorn starts this year. But where the Divine Masculine, Knight of Cups, offers his love and moderate savings, or ability now to be moderate, and the Divine Feminine accepts big time and offers herself as the present. Or the Queen of Wands reversed, offers love and the truth, but she's looking the other way, wanting his seed planted after opening of his crown or circumcision to end the war with Taurus marriage, religion, or establishment, with news, a message, or spreading the word, or an air sign child or child who likes to talk. This could be the Queen of Wands reverse, getting the child to back her up, like on either side, like cornering him, so that the Hierophant is trapped or locked in by her proposal. Or his reply is no reunion or party, or unable to come to the party, or must send an invite to the third party about the good news, the success. A message to third party that he's coming or has arrived, or good news travels fast despite gossipers and overindulgers, anti-socialites. The party's over and the journey's begun. Soft pinks and buttercup yellow, compassion and unity consciousness, back in the saddle with one-of-a-kind bridle sporting magenta and oranges and browns to ground fully. The Six of Wands and a pie, a balanced hue man. And the hue might reference his lightness, his density has lightened. With spotted tail, new growth at the tip, and healing well. With a token of the foosball table that he was chained to, now one of his wands, with the pie symbol on top. The cat whose spots were removed is now slowly getting them back, healing growing past his old line or lineage, a one-of-a-kind with fruit basket on his head to protect his crown, and that's supposed to be a silly thing like the Fool. The 11-10 was the time there with justice and a turn for the better, the Wheel of Fortune, destiny, and truth and balance. And as we turn the page, it's 11-11, that the Three of Cups are dumped out. The 3 cups are dumped out, like the 3 angels in Revelation 16. Has minimized his holdings, traveling light, but not bare. He's still bullish. Done grieving the past, presently coming forward or bringing a gift, recovering openly, the dark night, death, transformation, to manifest fully. Man with chakra system fully online. Implementing plan for the Divine Feminine to receive him well. The dark night on top of it, riding proud as fans cheer in the distance. Tools on the table waiting, prepared and with flowers all around the altar. Implementing a plan to clean up the 4D mess, with resistance from kids and threatening them with hoofing it if they don't cooperate. Retreat comes up, and below that was you deserve love. Time to disconnect from the world. Nightmare on Elm Street is over. The wounded warrior has someone to talk to. About man handling flame, and goat on chain, being led and yanked, and a dark bird. And that was 11:22 to 23, the train horn blew. Now I was just noticing that too. I told you the 2 of Cups came up from the Biddy Tarot, and I was talking about the 2 old biddies yesterday or the day before, or both days. They've been coming up together a lot this week. So the old biddies are coming up again. And I was just guided back to that after the dark bird. So there might have been an old biddy who was a dark bird. You know, they could be set in their ways, very prejudiced, things like that. But the train horn blew. And then I was getting I've been working on the railroad, right? I haven't heard that in forever. All the livelong day, just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. So when I looked that up to find all the words, and it was from Wiki, the encyclopedia, Dinah was a word for slave woman. So it was like, Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Which obviously there's a sexual connotation there. Someone's in the kitchen. Dinah, I know, strumming on the old banjo. So the earliest known recording was by Sand Hills, 16, by Victor Records, which we're just seeing the Six of Wands, or the Victor, right, leading the way. By Vic 16, and getting 16 candles again too. But Sand Hills 16 by Victor Records, 1927, which is the year my dad was born. 27 is the Ace of Wands, and 19, of course, is the Sun. Defenseless to the Star, the Hierophant or narcissist marriage. A slave driver, forcing sex, forcing partner to do oral sex, or paying them or bribing with incentives or threats to do what they want. May include third-party sex and videotapes and or pornography. Star, or a stripper that they married. Abusive marriage or hierophant, religion or establishment, giving the quote-unquote star whatever they want to keep them happy and making money. Defenseless to hot wax or forced to wax hair if they want any sex, or getting kids to do whatever you want because you control all the money, or multiple partners, defenseless to them. The star, the narcissist hierophant, and the little lizard watching them. Or the star's 15 minutes are now over, used and abused and now wounded, not much fight left. And then change comes up, number 5, and beneath that was creativity, or number 3. And then 53 is the catapult, the Knight of Swords, who's actually reversed in this read, who's verbally abusive, so that comes up as well. The Queen of Swords reversed, free in new life, with the Emperor reversed, with dream family, Major Tom, with poor judgment of the Emerald Order, caught stealing fireworks, or Atlas, a deer, or carrying 2 deer on his shoulders and back, or deer in the headlights, caught doing too much work again, or chopping wood, collecting enough fire or energy to last the winter. Funneling energy, money laundering, but the turtle is slow and caught with the goods, the treasure, hoarding or inheritance, used as the front man, may not have even known about it. His sweet nature used by those of greed, or horny fallen angel, or Major Tom, the imp or critter of the family jewels. The burden he carries, his cross to bear, I mean bull. And that was at 1151. So the top of the page was 1144, which is justice and the 4 of cups, the mastering, grounding, and integrating. The 1151 is then the justice of the King of Swords. So the Queen of Swords reversed, and the Queen of Swords only reversed in the underlying energy here. She's upright in the rest of the read. The Queen of Swords reversed and the Emperor reversed, and they could be 2 different air signs or that type personality, and could be a lawyer as well or a professional. Could be military as well. The Queen of Swords reversed and the Emperor reversed used him, his sweat and tears, to free themselves for a new life, while he takes the fall, on his last leg. The heavy burden at present to lead the way, to strategize a plan to change the status of narcissist, like his plan to lead the way, but first needing to strategize a plan in how to change his status, his so-called status, whether it's true or not, of narcissist with 2 women, needing the courage to go through ego death. Recently is the 3 of Swords reversed, healing, heartbreak, and separation, awake to the King of Cups, or unconditional love, defenseless to energies and attacks, at the workplace scam or iniquity, imbalanced relationship, one with everything and the other with unhappy family, or seeing synchronicities everywhere, while ending the family or emotional cycle, the Leo reversed, or ego death, or need for strength and courage, in need of work, or with disability, or on strike, refusing to move or work, stubborn, or needing the courage to not work, to be still, to say no, to fall into destiny, to allow yourself to be imperfect, to fall on your face from grace and lack faith, to be embarrassed, humiliated, make a fool of yourself in front of others, to allow it all to fall in the face of God, of grace, to destiny, to allow source to guide you to your fate, to not of worry and perfection, but of silliness, crazy ideas, and extension of self. No worries, be happy.
Okay, Appy's on the web for crazy.
Crazy idea. Look, wait, I should have kept that to see what that was. Anyway, no worry, don't worry, be happy. Allowing the tides to shape and mold you, the seasons to hold you, your love to enfold you, and no one to scold you. The foundation is the Seven of Cups, the synchronicities and the choices. And right as I'm getting into this, when I said allowing the tides to shape and mold you, the seasons to hold you, your love to enfold you, there's been this little gnat bug that's been in my house for a few days, and he keeps coming and hanging out with me, and he'll give me little messages, like he'll land on the page where I need to pay attention to. So today, the little gnat was on the corner of my page where I'm reading from, on the right bottom corner, and at first he was on the top, near the ledge, which I talk about with the Fool, because the Fool's walking on the ledge, right? So this bug was right above, contemplating the fall, and then next thing I know, he's scaling the wall. So then he'd gone off the top of the page, gone down the side. So that was very much about the bug on the lower right corner of the page exploring the cliff. And that was at 12:07 that I wrote that. The hangman and the chariot being driven off of a cliff, right? Or being driven insane, or literally, right, walking that fine line. So the Seven of Cups foundation here about the synchronicities and the choices they need to make, which can make you crazy, right, with too many choices, not being able to make a decision, seeing the one true bond, but keeping quiet about it until ready to spread the word in the aftermath of drama or sudden events, and fighting. The center energy here is the star, leading the way, leaning into the wind while the Knight of Wands rushes passionately to them to visit, to move, or leaving marriage behind, or leaving house in the hands of a loving child. And that was at 12:08, the hangman and the strength card. Or leaving two kids home to go on a journey, or the older child is leaving the nest and the divine masculine is proud along with loving younger sibling. The star healing or healed and dreams come true, or a beacon of light, resting, praying, meditating on how to continue carrying the burdens of the weight of the world upon his shoulders and the sealed divine feminine on his shoulders as well. The challenge being the King of Cups, the unconditional love and synchronicities of that special connection to the King of Swords reversed in a bold move to express their feelings, energetically connect, and suffering in silence over the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles and the sealed divine feminine, and or completing a cycle and coming full circle, completing his world. The Nine of Pentacles reversed here, no longer obsessed with impatient or fallen angel, which is reference to when I kicked my angel off the shelf today, the fallen angel, and the Queen of Swords, powerless to fighting competition, the ex's need to fight or play games, or the sealed divine feminine no longer obsessed, fully empowered, and riding on the divine masculine with the Queen of Swords, or the Queen of Swords, Sagittarius, fallen angel, or the Queen of Swords who's talking about the Sagittarius, fallen angel, or impatient, someone who loses their temper, and the Queen of Pentacles with air in her chart, the Queen of Swords energy. They're both upright, by the way, resting, meditating, and praying for all, and powerless Cancer, or in a bold move to express all, on a quest for the gold, all aspects of the divine feminine. And the King of Pentacles reversed, losing money and star status in a scam, inequity, or imbalanced, unfair relationship or partnership. Tripping up, screwed up, dropped the act, and now breaking patterns, grounding and integrating an offer of love, exposing all, and time in the sun, or offer of love is his sunshine. Or in other words, their gas station, their fill-up station. And that references to my safety pin diagram as well, if you've seen that before. The Eight of Pentacles reversed, now crowning the masculine here, is the Star in walking away. The party's over. Going away or holiday party, ending the war with PTSD perhaps, trust issues, lies, split, and videos, sitting in uncomfortable emotions of carrying the weight of the world upon your shoulders, or in other words, Atlas. Done overworking and aligning with desires, or new projects to take on. They're done with it. The worst is over of obsession of fallen angel and the Queen of Swords talking about it. At work, he came clean, or came clean to the King of Swords reversed, or came clean as the King of Swords reversed, to end the nightmare. The Queen of Swords leaning on the truth in messages of powerlessness. Here comes my little gnat, just came flying in on my right arm, on my right wrist. Did you hear us talking about you? Yeah. It's a really tiny little guy. The Queen of Swords leaning on the truth in messages of powerlessness, of loss of power, money, and independence, with the Queen of Swords reversed, Taurus, weighing them down, putting pressure, just flew away from me as I started talking about the Queen of Wands, putting pressure on to heal separation and forgive fighting, conflict, and competition. But the King of Pentacles reversed wants peace, with the Queen of Cups and her truth of awakening and exposing all. Now he's on my left leg. What you doing down there? I guess that's what you're saying to the masculine. What you doing down there? So 1231, as I turn the page, is the Hanging Man and the Five of Wands, the expansion, competition, fighting, the quest. Still on my left leg, left knee. To heal and shine the light despite the family dysfunction and financial drains, destined to be prisoner of love and third energy. To become imbalanced, in order to rebuild the foundation. Soon for the masculine is the Eight of Cups upright, walking away. Batman leaves the Batcave to become the Fool, the Joker, to find peace away from deception of false light, the Delta Dawn, the pooling of old emotions, to dump in the morning as the sun comes out to transmute the dark. In knowing about the gold coin, floating energy above Scrooge's head, or maybe they don't understand, the King of Pentacles reversed with loss of status, money, with opportunity, or an invitation to injustice, or Libra reversed, bridging the gap between the King of Pentacles reversed and the Judge or Libra reversed, or Cancer, Aries, or Aquarius, Earth, and Libra, Sag, walking away after suffering in silence due to Cancer expressing their feelings, and dysfunctional family with misguided values or issues with spending money. The Divine Masculine is in ego death, or with out of control Leo or ego, being offered new passion, third energy from narcissist or Hierophant marriage Taurus, a burden for him as the wounded warrior, that lion that was wounded and falling into deep slumber, resting, praying, meditating in 5D on all of it, needing the strength to resist the karmic offers, because the Ace of Wands is on him being offered. And that can just have to do with projects too, like if they're workaholics too. The strength to resist an offer of another project, an offer of sex, whatever it is, an offer of creativity, new growth, another wand on the table, and he's already got 19 wands there on him. He's got the 10 of wands and the 9 of wands. He's the wounded warrior carrying the burdens, and he's resting in the 5D. But he's got 19 wands and he's being offered a 20th, which is the final judgment. Reconciliation comes up for the masculine, as well as unrequited love then, and then new love with deception. So someone's wearing the mask, right? So reconciliation with the unrequited love, which isn't there, in order to allow everything to fall, to come into the new love, with still wearing the mask and not having come out with their truth yet. Around the Divine Masculine, or how he's seen, is the higher self, offering a new life to him, his own higher self, with the gold coin to those who mess up. So he's seeing that the higher self, or his higher self, or his twin, offers a new life to those of the gold coin, and to those who mess up and lose their temper and get impatient, to those who are overindulgent, have third parties, or have antisocial behavior, those who are stubborn and lazy with anxiety issues, or with prisoners and or hostages, or in other words, unconditional love. The masculine needs to clear blocks around impatience and fallen angel. The bad man behind blue eyes, that you are a bad boy. What do mothers tell you when you're young? You're a bad boy. Grounding and integrating love without option. But, so it's like saying he needs to clear all these things about being a bad boy. And he's grounding and integrating the love, which means he's thinking about it, not accepting about it. But he's got no options because he's inspired by this. After all, it's love. How can you not be inspired by it? The injustice of it. Happy ending becomes happy, then Appy, which referenced the application or the apple in the Garden of Eden. But then it goes down to PPY or PP. And then it goes down to PY, which is pi, the centeredness of the human, which then reduces to just the Y in the road and the ending in surrender. The full moon leaving, as well as the deception, it is no more, and this is no surprise. We have karmic completion here. So we had the surrender and the happy ending, or happy ending, but even more so here is the karmic completion. The 3 cups reversed, the negative group or disconnection, disbanded group, or the 10 of Pentacles reversed family business or large institution, as well as the individual with financial, practical, or energy loss or went under. Or group is paying out to the individual who's paying off their debts, and the judgment or announcement or wake-up call to action or help. Or family and sovereign, both drained, make an announcement. Going away party at work is now over, or just the party is over at 12:57, the hangman and the 3 of swords. The fat lady didn't sing, but the trumpeter blew their horn. And then it's 12:37, which is the hangman and the King of Cups, which is very much Jesus on the cross, that unconditional love. Or the third party at work, or overindulgence, drinking, gossip, and no socializing, or just no joy. The worst is over of the painful end. The Queen of Cups offers truth to expose all, to heal and forgive, conflict, competition, fighting, and games. The quest of the Empress to end pain for good, as well as emotional unhappiness, arrogance, dissatisfaction, and feeling alone, or with alcohol issues. On a quest for abundance, fated imprisonment of awakening, or big heads and ego-driven quests, imbalances to end pain, back pain, alcoholism, and depression for good, at the E-Tower, which is the Divine Feminine's heart, reaping rewards with Rapunzel, the Divine Feminine, coming out with flame, new passion to lead the way toward one big flame. Knowing and keeping to self, no more overworking or not working to be with lover. The Hermit with light on what's being kept quiet, causing sadness, grief, and loss and regret of the Emperor, the High Priestess, and the King of Wands destined to be together. Attention brought to what was kept quiet by the Hermit with the light, the High Priestess with secret or psychic abilities, and the lover, Emperor, King of Wands, both stopped working to grieve before destined union. Pretending not to know is no longer working. 2 old men who were trying to stop them from coming together, or one old man was doing this, and the Hermit had the light shining on all of this, or the Divine Masculine's old man, or boss, or father-in-law was doing this. Present to synchronicities, needing strength and to be his higher self, healing and forgiving, shining light and dreams come true, and healing and forgiving. Aquarius, and challenged by the King of Cups, not working, walking away, impatient at work, or storming out, in ending a partnership to end pain. Implement a plan to reignite the new passion with the Divine Feminine's heart and lead the way. Present, or the gift of abundance, or Empress, or Gaia, or Mother, and the King of Wands, and the rest, the sleep, the meditation, the 5D, and holding their tongue, as the Knight of Swords reversed. Prior to the journey, healing and forgiving hard work, synchronicities and choices, and dreams not working, challenged by the King of Cups, or unconditional love, needing the strength or courage to walk away from an offer of sex or an offer of new projects or creativity, as the higher self or high priestess secret, impatient third party, or impatient for him to leave his situation and end the pain and make plans to ignite the journey. The high priestess and the shaman's destined mission. And that was at 119, which is the magician and the sun. So we're at 45, 43, 45, 45. So that's where we end here. And I'm going to go right into the other read so you get that read too. That one's shorter. So this is the one from last night, which was at 8:58 p.m. And we had the transition, again, the death card, Lovers, Chariot, Starseed, which is the Fool, and Reason, which is the Emperor. And after the read was Higher Self. We had 3 wands, 2 cups, and one sword then, which is 3, 2, 1, jump. We had the King of Cups, the Page of Swords. Before the read was the Knight of Cups and the Page of Wands, and after the read was the King of Wands. The numbers here were 77, 23, and 10. 9, 10, begin again. The 23 is the King of Wands. 44 came up as well. The 77 is the Sovereign. The 44 is the Mastering, Grounding, and Integrating. And then the code line was all about manifestation, which I brought up the Asian on my title yesterday, which I hope you guys all got that, about the masculine, the keys, the key portals, the masculine's mouth and the feminine's vaginal canal are the 2 key portals. Him needing to open his mouth, so the transmute, right, needing to move the mute to open their mouths and actually feed themselves with that which serves them. But today, this one last night after that one came up as manifestation as being the main energy around the code line, and number 10, which is destiny, the Wheel of Fortune, a turn for the better. And the message from that was an after-death show of power to see the foe, the false, the masty, which is someone with a mastectomy, could be false, but also that it's false that you're one of 2, because you're always one. In the Atlas burdens of Jesus, and Isis came up here. But I was also getting a reference to the karmic niceties, or them, it's kind of being like too nice, or being like the kind of nice, like always pacifying him, treating him like a little infant. But that passiveness, like that, kind of makes you want to gag, if you're someone who doesn't like other people telling you what to do all the time. But that kind of energy was coming up as the karmic's niceties, or being too nice, which is passive aggressive. And then also the nieces were coming up, so somebody's nieces might be like that as well. The after death show of power, I was also getting the 3, 2, 1 jump to then go back to the 2, 3, 4, shut the door. And then we went to 77 and then 9, but we skipped 5, 6, and 8. So you have to go back and begin again, because you skipped a step. You skipped 5, 6, and 8. Lay them straight. So you didn't get things in order. The 5 and the 6 have to do with expansion and the family. And then the 8 has to do with manifesting your dreams and balancing and get moving into the dance between the masculine and the feminine. So the after death show of power, sea foam was also coming up, so sea foam green, but also as the clash of the titans off lame king freezes, or lame easy nieces, or niceties, like so someone who's easy. I'm getting easy measy, or mice. 3 blind mice, I guess, are coming up here too. The after death show of power, foaming at the mouth as the clash of the titans. The clash of the titans of flame or fire, the king freezes up. or Isis. And so then fire and ice were coming up here as well regarding manifestation. Okay, so the Asian has to do with starvation of man, the chakra system, and then the fest, like feasting. That he needs feasting of the chakra system, right? It's been starved for so long. And now it needs to balance the fire and ice, the masculine and the feminine. And I love how they bring that stuff up. Okay, so the other numbers that came up, was there anything else? I think I get everything. 37 and 47 were coming up then too. And yes, this read, I'll post this one on the tag so you can see the base cards here for this read. We had the Lovers right in the middle of the read, and then the King of Cups and Three of Cups came up in this read as well. The Death card was reversed of the portal and transformation, whereas today in this one it was upright, the Death card. The near death, dead tired, jealous, and arrogant, inspired, grounding and integrating offer of love. The Devil waves goodbye, walking away in divorce, Capricorn and Libra. New passion for detaching from emotional attachments. Depressed, broke, broken, breakdown, move or travel issues, or an ambulance, or police, or stuck in a plane or a long drive with the King of Swords, or as the King of Swords. Dead tired and resisting change. New passion for decoding synchronicities. A bird depressed, fell out of the tree and can't get back up. Stuck in a car or place with the King of Swords, Aquarius, or Cancer. Illusion of the puppet show comes to light. The bird fed to the dogs in the Colosseum, and I was just getting bird feeder. So the Colosseum being the bird feeder because they're feeding the birds to the dogs in the Colosseum. Or the bird in a breakdown. The King of Swords with all 16 channels on board in a tower moment. Leaks in the ceiling and tributary effects. The traveling show's over. The dogs are down. The winged coach fell from star status. The King of Swords resisting change, showing off projects he's accomplished to gain recognition. At 9:45, which is when we started this or ended the first read, 9 is the Hermit, 45 is the Five of Cups, passing that third baton and needing to let go of it. It also has to do with grief, grieving, loss, and regret. The Lovers reversed at home, without affection, destined or work no longer bringing the same level of affection to him. No sex or affection or a breakup at home, destined. 2 Hail Marys and separate beds. The honeymoon, and so the honeymooners are coming up there, to make the effort. End of emotional cycle of family home, grounding and integrating offer of love after foolish arrogance. Unhappy family sent out for an errand but never came back. Stunned at the gate, sweets and tweets above their heads. Scroll work and ironwork pointing north to Cancer node. And that might have to do with Cancer, literally, because we're talking about nodes here, okay? So foolish behavior and fell from grace, lacking faith, but getting wish anyway. With lantern, fruit, and fan of dessert, and a rose garden, even though it was never promised. Fell off cliff, the snake tripped him up, led him down that slippery slope, and cut him off at the pass. Scissors magnet coin over their heads too, climbed a mountain, Apollo blast off, and Jack fell and broke through his crown, and Jill fell all the way down the mountainside. The dryer left tumbling and washer broken. Adventure was 55, and beneath that was relationship change, 56. So after the relationship change of the 2 of Swords being in your knowing, or pretending not to see, was then topped off by adventure, 55, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. No new life with end of family cycle, overexposed, sick, tired, ain't no sunshine when she's gone, starting over, moving out, ending marriage, or visiting another's house. Present of the ship sailing away, the stinger intact, only now white birds, seagulls overhead, no dark birds, getting away with the goods, out the back Jack, making new plans stand, and the bunnies in the weeds, and chop suey, silks, and grass for dinner. Chopsticks and inchworm and multiplication of bunnies. Arabian thieves get away with intellectual property. John Wayne empties the saloon, gets all the guns or swords going through the portal. Lying, cheating, or stealing out the 3D door instead of flying through the 4D portal. The King of Swords destined to get wish of adventure. Recently was the Chariot reversed, broken transportation, or stuck in a vehicle forever. The enemy at the gate preventing him from passing by. The wounded warrior in jail, sent inside forever, right? Ending the battle of depression and clinginess, near death, dead tired, the Emperor reversed, abusing their power. The foundation is the King of Cups reversed. So the King of Cups was reversed last night, but it's today upright, which is great. The King of Cups was reversed and weak, without the courage of the King of Wands, egotistical Leo. The High Priestess secret, psychic abilities, abusive childhood, kids, past or secret past returns, and the King of Wands is grounding and integrating an offer of love, but the King of Cups reversed is conditional. The central energy here was the Lovers reversed, jealous of prisoner or jealous lover, hostage, but the worst is over now. The secret of breakup is suddenly out. 2 cups falling short of completion. So the 2 cups, they didn't make it all the way. Falling short of completion. The challenge being the 10 of Wands burden. The Atlas, happy with High Priestess, with clarity. The Hermit shedding light on grief. Falling on face from grace and lacking faith. And moving now to peace. The King of Cups reversed, suffering in silence, juggling a fine line to stay balanced. The wounded warrior upright at home near death, resisting changes. The Emperor reversed, jealous of the Queen of Cups, recovering in peace. Inspired to look away from the Queen of Wands reversed, who is looking the other way, as always, and that was at 10:22, and the train horn blew again, so that could have to do with, blowing your horn. 10:22 is the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool. Now, in the present or crowning moment here is the 7 of Wands reversed, defenseless to the 10 of Cups reversed family of Taurus or Hierophant, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the Emperor reversed, and the Queen of Cups reversed, stealing from him. And so there could be 2 different Queen of Cups here, because there's a Queen of Cups upright as well, but they're both within the read. So they're part of the group. The Empress, King of Pentacles reversed, student defenseless to the King of Wands. The Empress and Hierophant trying to entrap the King of Pentacles reversed. Curious child, the Page of Pentacles, defenseless to him. Or the King of Pentacles reversed, presenting an opportunity or an invitation to the King of Wands, the wounded warrior at home, suddenly with peace. Not expressing passions at work, in inequitable situation or scam, or in debt, the karmic all business abusing their power, or with father who's like that, broken dark priestess, or King of Swords with success, and now no longer saving people, losing money and status, recovering from the battle of spying and cheating, dark priestess jealous, and or the Emperor reversed jealous of the Queen of Cups connection to the King of Pentacles reversed success. Recovering from judgment, announcement, or call to action, the Hermit missing flame who gives them peace, holding back new life due to the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands reversed. Soon for the masculine is the Page of Swords reversed, bad news message, a mouthy child, but it also could be monthly child support I was getting, a mouthy child spreading rumors, hanging out in limbo with the King of Cups reversed, pending a new job, juggling, performing, the King of Cups reversed, grieving behind the Hermit's back so that they can't see them, out of work and separation, of heartbroken from being dumped or pushed to their emotional limits, the Queen of Swords speaking her truth, but with negative self-talk, unable to move forward, or just being still. Now the Starseed, or the Fool reversed, waiting for the big bomb to drop, the Fool deceptive to the Queen of Swords reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who are suffering in silence, and that could be one person as well, holding back their feelings. Free yourself, healing family issues, it is safe to love, and you deserve love came up for the masculine. Around him, or how he was seen, was the Two of Wands reversed, with no options, dumping attachments, holding on loosely, grounding, saving, and being moderate so that new passion will come to them. The Queen of Cups dumping emotions, and the Queen of Wands reversed, holding on, and the Page of Wands with the stick up their butt, inspired by sex or new projects. Clear blocks of the Emperor reversed, abusive power, split lies, and lack of trust, rejection, spoiled, used to getting whatever he wants. Manifestation comes up along with individuality and completion, as well as following your dreams, and that was at 10:41. the Wheel of Fortune, fate, destiny, a turn for the better, and the 41 is the Ace of Cups, new love. Self-love, or spiritual love. Judgment of child, wrangling their parents, refusing to dance at the pity party. The Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands reversed are next to each other but looking opposite ways, with the Queen of Swords reversed just below them, with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords reversed. The Knight of Swords is upright though. It looks like two mothers and kids drinking, like so two mothers out with their kids with the mothers drinking, and I guess if the kids are older, maybe they're drinking, or if they're at someone's house, maybe the mothers are letting them drink, and or gossiping third party or negative group, defenseless to the messenger of truth and the Page of Swords reversed, their negative talk or spreading rumors. No joy, overindulgent or antisocial behavior, defenseless at home, with magician coming clean at the present, impatient fallen angel about third party, or drunk happy hour, and gossip. The High Priestess secret or psychic abilities coming clean about downloads of the King of Wands shaman. The Tower, sudden events, epiphanies, eruptions, without option, but to rise to the occasion. The Ten of Pentacles family and sovereign are reaping rewards. The King of Wands shaman suddenly out of options and unable to sleep, thinking of the Ten of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles reaping rewards without him. And by the way, those two cards were reversed today. Resisting the changes, the King of Cups reversed, Fool without options, broken up with lover, and challenged by the weight of the world, Atlas, and negative self-talk of the Emperor reversed, abusing their power, defenseless to the negative group and or third party, home and or union, the High Priestess, secret or psychic abilities, and coming clean as the King of Wands shaman that he is. Resisting portal or change and sneaking out, the King of Cups reversed, broke up, defenseless to energies and attacks, challenged by that Ten of Wands and Atlas. Foolish, immature mouth and overindulgences, no option for abusive Emperor reversed, of negative group at home or third party union, secret and coming clean as the King of Wands shaman, suddenly on top of the world, reaping rewards of the Ten of Pentacles and the Sovereign. All right, so things turned around right at the end of this, which was around 11 o'clock last night. And then we go into this read this morning where everything had turned around for him. So that was really good. All right, so we're now at 1 hour. I guess it was 2 minutes, around 40 seconds that we stopped there. We'll say 1, 2, 3. So I'll remember. And I'll just pull you a quick card, which it never ends up being one card, but from the Good Tarot. Let's see what comes up. I want to pick from... I'm going to give you a card from the Kipper deck too, because that's more of a direct message. So everyone watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Take a deep breath, you guys. What is the message for this read? What do we need to know? What do we need to learn today? December 13, 2019. All right, so 2 cards popped out. So false person, which just has to do with wearing the mask, but also great fortune. And then distant horizons. So imprisonment's coming up on the bottom, which can just reference being imprisoned or anxiety issues. And that's coming up around the mature man at the bottom. So he's imprisoned by his thoughts, or literally in prison, because of people around him. This could be more than one person who have been doing or lying to him or cheating or stealing around him. Or it could just be as simple as someone not coming clean with everything about themselves. There's something false about the fortune, the great fortune, the gold, and distant horizons. About the ship coming in. There's no water, there's no emotions, so how can it float or anchor into anything? It can't. So it's like revealing the false energies that are around him. All right, so for the Good Tarot, let's see what we have. Just one more. Just trying to shuffle it the other way. All right. Okay, that's better. Okay. So for everyone watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned, as soon as I pulled the deck up, these cards all wanted to come out. Well, that was easy, but there's a lot of cards there. Just give me 1 second because they're kind of falling all over the place. That's it. These, I'm not pulling these cards, but these also fell out. I got the card from the back already, but I love this blue is showing. It wants to be seen. And also this card here. So I'm just going to show you. Oh, there we go. We got the star. And that was the middle of the read today. So that was important there. And then this card as well, the Queen of Fire, which is the Queen of Wands. All right, so that might be referencing who the star is. Right? Who's taking the fall. Their 15 minutes of fame is over. So that's coming up. And that doesn't have to be a fire sign. It's just the drama queen. All right? For me in my reads, that usually comes up as the karmic energy, who's the one who's not being of light, basically. Or doing some sneaky, underhanded things, right, behind the scenes. So it doesn't have to be a fire sign. It's just someone who likes to create drama. Someone who's fiery. And she's definitely reversed in this read today, so that would be someone who would do that kind of thing. So the cards that came up for you guys is Ace of Air reversed, which is the Ace of Swords. So that's about the split, the lies, any kind of BS, any kind of BS that needs to be clarified, cutting through all that crap. Isn't that pretty? It was weird because my perspective was his hind leg looked like two smaller horses or Pegasus. But anyway, this is, you know, this is the beauty. This is also reminding me of that fire card that they have where the horse is standing on the rock, leaning into the wind that's coming toward them, so they don't need to move. They just need to allow the wind to hold them up because they're so weak. All right, and that's because of the lies and the split that they're going through. So the second card is the Five of Air, upright. So this has to do with the war within, but it's very sweet and fluffy and feathery here. It's very light. I feel like I was just getting the yo-yo here today. So the Five of Swords could be like a game that they're playing within their own mind. And not necessarily in a negative way. I know that Five of Swords usually comes up as the war, right? The enemy. And it can be the enemy within. And it can have to do with the one who likes to play games when the others aren't really appreciating that energy. So let's see what else comes up with that. We also have the Two of Water. It's the Two of Water, or the Two of Cups reversed. Is the two goldfish. And this has to do with disconnection from each other. And that's what it looks like upright. They're definitely looking opposite directions. They're definitely splitting up. Even upright. They're passing each other. They're like two ships in the night. And here, they're disconnecting completely. They're drowning because they're underwater. Too much emotion that they never worked through. So it's drowning them. All right, and the games that they played. The lies. All right, and then we have the Emperor, who is then the Lion, which came up today. Again, the Lion's been like the theme all week. Here, he's in his power. This is the Emperor, full upright. Because of this split here. This disconnect. It's saying that there wasn't any love anyway, because it's all air, right? The Two of Cups is reversed, but the prior two cards were all about air and thoughts and words. The relationship wasn't about affection or love or anything like that. There's not even any wands right there. So the Emperor comes back upright in control, and then we have the Messenger of Water reversed, which is the Knight of Cups reversed. Again, jealousy, insincerity, refusal to give or receive love. Right? Making the other partner feel small. And then we have the Strength card reversed as well, which has to do with out-of-control ego, or ego death, or just weakness, right? Weakness isn't the power to hurt someone else. It's not the strength isn't the lion's power to kill something else. It's his strength in being able to control that to be still and kind. So this is this energy needed, the Emperor, and you see the trend here in colors, because we have all the greens, and then the Emperor, who's upright, needs to find the strength and the courage to get out of this situation that doesn't match his energy, because the one is very blues and greens, and his energies, the browns, very grounded. And then we have the Hierophant reversed, which again is that blue or green energy, trying to match him by bringing a little bit of brown in. This is what it looks like. And Hierophant could be Taurus. So we have Leo, Taurus, and what else came up? And some water energy as well. There's 2 Leo energies here, a lot of Leo. And Taurus. But this is reversed as well. So this is about divorce, alternative ways of believing, of being, thinking outside the box. But I'm getting it's like after this person is the more watery colors, tried to match his brown more to be more grounded person, but she can't because it's not who she is or he is. But I'm getting more of that, you know, that's the feminine. And then we have the temptation of the Devil card reversed, right? So that's like the Garden of Eden where there's temptation, but this is now over because it's been detoxed. They're no longer in the Garden of Eden. This is not your mother's Garden of Eden. It's detox of the situation. There's some kind of rehab situation, or just have left the situation. It's done, like the divorce or the split. It's all about breaking up a couple. And then we end up with love. This is where, see how it's all brown now? The lion or the masculine has found his strength to tame his own inner beast, to allow the feminine to crawl into his energy safely and feel good about it. A place where they can both feel safe. And then again, I told you yesterday I was getting the lowercase i's have to do with the chakra systems in the third eye. And this is the 2 of you, the masculine and the feminine, coming together in love. Really beautiful, guys. There's a couple more cards that came out here. I'm sweating like crazy. And my little bug friend keeps messing with my right side. The 9 of Earth is the Sovereign. So then the Sovereign. And this, yesterday, I was getting peace on Earth, because she looks like she's praying with her flower. And she still has a mask on, though. So it still takes some time to get the mask off. But, you know, the 9 of Earth is everything you've ever wanted, but yet staying true to yourself as well. Then we have the 5 of Earth and the 7 of Water. So they come up, this is what they look like upright. The 5 of Earth is like, you know, the destitution card. And then the 7 of Water is that 7 of Cups card of options, all the choices that you have. But the other way is about recovering from the lack of, and this is about dumping all of your emotional attachments that no longer serve you. So this is there's still a mask on here because there's still all that stuff, you know, you still have some stuff to clear together. And that's about this. It's the recovery and the dumping of emotional attachments. And it's going back to the traveling light, you know, just with the clothes on your back, you know, to travel light. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of all the things you love, but it's just saying you need to get rid of the attachments to anything. Yeah, so recovering in a very practical, very earth-based way. And then letting go of emotional attachments. Or even just cutting down on activities and things like that. It's too much. But that's what's happening as you come together. And then the last one we have is the 4 of Earth, which is moderation. It's about grounding, about saving, and about being practical. And with confirmation. All right? And to be, you know, have your boundaries so that people don't scam you, as that call was just a scam warning. To be practical. And you see their hands are saying, come hither. keep your heart open to allow people in. And this is when you're moderate, you know, you come off as a very humble, practical energy, which is not intimidating to others. That's that open heart of being loving just for all that you are. Very sweet and balanced, grounded, and yet pure at the same time. And there's a butterfly there. It looks like that. It's like, you know, the saying, if you love something, set it free. And if it comes back to you, it's yours. And if it doesn't, it never was. The Four of Earth, the Four of Pentacles. So just being grounded, holding on loosely. This is not one of those Scrooge Four of Pentacles. This is a good Four of Pentacles. It's just about being moderate and staying close to the middle, not going to extremes, because that's where your happiness lies, right? Because even if there's nothing wrong with wanting beautiful, expensive things, but when you get into that indulgent life, if you don't have that kind of money, and even if you do, if you have a lot of money like that, the money itself is a job. And then everything you want is a job, because then you're going to worry about people stealing from you. So it goes on and on and on like that. So, you know, be sure of what you want, that it's true to who you are and of your heart. And that's all that's saying. It's about staying at 0 point and being moderate and not going to extremes once you come together in union, to allow some of the healing to still occur, and then be gentle and moderate with each other. So I'm going to show you the cards before I go. Okay, I see the Three of Flames there. The recent past was the Three of Orbs or Swords. The foundation was the Seven of Chalices. You see them there. The center of the read was the Star, challenged by the Master of Chalices or King of Cups. The other underlying energies up there, the burdens, and then crowning was the Eight of Crystals or Pentacles. And then scrolling across here to what was coming up is the Eight of Chalices or walking away. You see him there in the hole there. And then the masculine sees himself as the Strength card, but it was reversed today. Around him, the Higher Self, which was upright. The blocks he needs to clear is Alchemy reversed, the Impatience. And then we end up with that Three of Cups reversed. The Ten of Swords above that, the E-Tower, which is the Divine Feminine's heart, or the Seven of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords, and then the Six of Swords above that. So a lot of fire energy we end on. Those were both upright at the end. And then we end up there with the Wheel of Fortune on top. And you see that side note of the weakness or the ego death, the needing the courage and the strength to change. Okay. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and rise and be loved, guys. Rise and be loved. Bye.